Every single day in this planet is a pure joy. And the best part is, it is for free and is available for everybody. It took me a while to reach this realization, but when I did, when I merged with this belief, everything became more clear. When I was able to eliminate the superfluous and all this noise disappeared, I was able to see what is important for me. Initially, I thought it was a consequence of the life-saving surgery I had about 2 years ago, and the thought I'm living my second life now. Because yes, it's true. When you're close to death, you revisit your priorities. Other option was at cause of all spiritual books I would read and the concept of minimalism and having in life only what is actually important. But the truth is, life is in continuous change, and there is not just one influence or moment that characterizes it. And always the mechanism of change starts much before the motion of it actually reaches us. Hello, I'm Alexandra, you're with Brave New World. I had two big loves in my life, fashion and this planet. Everything I always wanted to do was fashion. In one of my earliest memories, I'm about 4 or 5 years old and draw these girls with clothes everywhere. And I finished all my notebooks. I had like 3 of them, no space to draw anymore. And I reached my mother's notebooks from her students that she's supposed to control. My mother was a teacher and she's supposed to control children's homework. So I see these notebooks, take one of them from the top, and I continue drawing my models in there. As you can imagine, my mother didn't took it really well, but she sent me on my first group drawing lessons. After that, I would start going on private drawing lessons all Saturdays and Sundays, and that would continue until I was 13 and go to high school. A high school of fine arts, of course, because I always wanted to be a fashion designer, and I believe that developing these drawing abilities will bring me on one step closer to be designer. When I was 19, I moved to Milan from Bulgaria, that is my home country, to study fashion design, and so I did, after 2 years studying just the language. After I took a few internships, one of each in a luxury brand, I've took a few freelancer jobs, and I finally found a fixed position, that last one in one fast fashion brand, initially as a graphic designer doing placement prints, artworks, and later I moved to woven design department. And in the meantime, I changed Italy for Switzerland and Switzerland for France. To be honest, I never thought to work in fast fashion brand, but for me it just happened. And although I knew it's something just temporary, I wanted to see and to do and to know as much as I can. I wanted to absorb as much as I have the chance to about the industry behind the glamour, about how garments are made, who made them, how is production working. And I will always be grateful about this experience. It taught me things I wouldn't have been able to know in a lifetime working in luxury. And yes, I do realize that. I believe everything happens for a reason. And if that's so, the reason why fast fashion was on my path was to share my experience, the reality of it, and the reality of what I learned and what I know now. I have to say, in fast fashion, you learn a lot and you learn it quickly. Actually, everything is quick there. You take a trend, digest it, as we used to say, in certain brand identity, and bring as a result a physical product, something to wear, and bring joy as it is to normal, regular people that would like to spend as less as possible, like let's say an example, 30 euro over a trendy new dress. But the thing is, what is cheap is always expensive. Always. And here is where my big love, my first big love, clashes with the second one. Because what is cheap is always more expensive. Clothing industry is one of the most polluting for this planet. Fast fashion is the main reason why. Over 100 billion garments are made every single year, and the biggest part of them ends up in landfill, is incinerated, or simply waiting to be disposed. But 60% of the garment in fast fashion are made by polyester and fossil-based materials. Complete disposal of only one garment will happen in hundreds of years. In the meantime, soil becomes unfertile and water polluted by the disposing chemicals. And all of this because of a linear business model that pushes to more consume, faster replace of the goods, even if these goods are still good to be wear and still in the middle or beginning of their life cycle. Words like fashion, trend, glamour has become like a regular mask with which cover our eyes for realities as overproducing, polluting, global warming, and it impacts us on so many levels. But real fashion is not that. And it hurts me really a lot to see how with the word fashion has been speculated to make industry based, again, a linear business model, such as I take prime material, work it, implement it into goods, sell it with insanely high margin, by the way. And after I throw away the rest and the old and start over with new, fresh prime material, and again, the same process. We are not in the 80s anymore, neither in the 90s, neither in the beginning of this century, in a matter of fact. We live in such an exciting time where we are able to talk and see a person that's on the other side of the planet. We live in time where everything you want is possible, reachable, even dreamy compared to 100 years ago. And equally, we live in time where every year the overshoot day comes earlier and earlier. If you didn't know, the overshoot day is the exact date in which we as humanity use the biological resources that Earth generates during the entire year. And for 2020, the date was 28th of July. Bye, 28th! In comparison with 1971, when the overshoot day was 25th of December, in 50 years we almost halved it. Except in 2020, the date was 22nd of August, when we earned a month because of the sanitary crisis. In 2020, we consumed less, and that immediately had a positive reflection to this beautiful planet we live on. Yes, we wasn't going out and seeing many people, and there was frustration because of it, but no one missed going out just to shopping, just to buy more clothes, just because. We missed seeing our friends and family and kissing and touching and hugging them. And we missed having the choice of going out or staying home rather than being imposed to do that. But consuming just because we are bored or this is what we usually do is not okay. It's just not okay because it ruins our home. The entire harmony balance of this planet is based on cyclic circular pattern model, even if its shape is rounded if you think about it. So industry and business models must adapt. Now, I'm not the biggest specialist in how all the industry must redesign, but as my field is garment industry and fashion, I can tell you it's absolutely applicable. There are so many, and trust me on that matter, so many sustainable brands out there. In US, Europe, Australia, everywhere, there are sustainable fashion brands with circular business model that make beautiful clothes that comes from recycled materials, are produced as much as possible with respect for the planet and the people who made them. And no brand in fast fashion can claim the same thing. Even if you see sometimes tags as organic or BCI cotton on fast fashion brands, it's not that, it's not sustainability. It is called greenwash. In a matter of fact, just this morning I was reading about the article how H&M has been brought to cows because of greenwash etiquettes. I'm gonna leave you the link here below. It's in Italian, but you can easily translate it with Google on any language you want to read on. I told you at the beginning of this video, a change starts not from its first manifestations, but from the smallest tassel that would trigger the entire process, bringing you to this manifestation. I'm hopeful this video was a small tassel, maybe the first one, but definitely not the last one. I used to hear a lot, the main issue of Earth is that we are too many on this planet and we are overpopulating it. No, I don't think we are too many. I think we are too many to do the wrong choice. If you enjoyed the video, support me with a like and subscribe for my channel. I will see you in the next one. By then, choose to be brave and build this new world that we can still go home tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video, yeah, go home tomorrow. By then, I wish you no. If you enjoyed this video,